Well, the biggest man in the NFL is about to enter into the draft and is right now projected to go in the fifth or sixth round, and also potentially go undrafted. But where would Desmond Watson's perfect fit be in the NFL?
Let's talk football.
Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, or sports, or everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the biggest man in football, Desmond Watson, who is a 6'5", 449-pound defensive lineman, and primarily played nose tackle for the Florida Gators. But he has been a quiet person as far as his career. He has had last year he recorded for 20 total tackles, 6 total tackles, 14 assisted tackles, 1 pass defended, also along with a lot of other stats. But primarily in his career, he has recorded for let me get the number here. Well, he's recorded for a bunch. I don't get the whole total stats from where I'm looking at it right now. But the question is, where would Desmond Watson fit in the NFL? Now, we'll talk about this more in just a second. Before we get started, though, if you all do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a big favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's talk about the biggest man in football, Desmond Watson. Desmond Watson. I heard about this guy recently, and I looked back at his stats. This man is a defensive game changer. This man is different. If he gets one hand on anybody, he can bring them down. One hand is all he needs because he's so big and so ferocious that he is a guy that can bring you down. But when I look at teams that he could fit well in, I'm looking at a few teams. I'm looking at my Hawks, of course. I'm looking at the Bills, the Broncos, Cardinals, and the Packers. I'm looking at this dude. If he goes to any of those teams, I am looking at it right now. He can make them look like a finger licking good defense. That is what I am thinking right now when I look at this guy. When I look at this man, if he goes to Seattle, this man can stop runs. I've watched this kid for a while. This man is a run stop machine. I looked at his highlights. If he can get up there and get to the running back, he could lock them down. And when I'm looking at the Seahawks division, I am looking at running backs like Christian McCaffrey. I'm looking at Kyron Williams and James Conner. If this man, Desmond Watson, comes over to Seattle, this man could make this defense even more scary than it already is. Because this man, he may not have a good stat record, but that's just because he's with the Florida Gators. That's why, because he hasn't been able to produce. And when I look at him in a coaching area with a defensive mastermind like Mike McDonald, this man could grow in that defense. You already look at the Seahawks defense. They already got Leonard Williams. They already got Boye Mafe. They already got Derek Hall. And they already got Ernest Jones. It's set up perfectly. It's set up perfectly. And this man, I believe, could be a rotational piece for Seattle. And this could help them out in their run defense. So I would not be surprised if Seattle in the 5th through 7th rounds look at this kid and say, "Oh, this man could be huge for our defense and help them out." This is what I'm looking at when I look at Desmond Watson. He is a guy that is very highly underestimated. I look at this dude. He is big. He is tall. He's 6'5", and he's 464 pounds. This guy is like a freight train. He's like a bigger version of the Hulk. That's what it kind of is. So when I look at a kid like Desmond Watson, when I look at this young man, I look at this man and I say Seattle should target this guy because if Seattle can lock up this guy with a few other picks, I do believe they'll go in the first, second, or third round to go out there and get. This defense could be the scariest defense in the NFC next year, primarily in the NFC West, because we know the Rams already got a good defense. We already know they have that defense. If Seattle can shore up that defense and get more offensive line in the process, the Seahawks could be the biggest threat to the Rams. And I'm looking at a guy like Desmond Watson. He might be the missing piece that the Seahawks need. I'm looking at this man. I'm looking at the defensive line. If we get this guy, we could be in the mood for a Legion of Doom defense, not a Legion of Boom. That's a whole different story. The Legion of Boom was a secondary defense that was known primarily for its secondary play by Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, and Earl Thomas. You could create a Legion of Doom with this man. He could be the missing piece for the Seahawks defense. He could be the missing piece. And I know he's not that we're going to take a few other rushers in the first, second, or third round. I do believe this guy should be a guy that Mike McDonald should look out for. If he's available in undrafted free agency, lock him down immediately. Because this man is a game changer that you do not want to pass up on. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Where do you guys think Desmond Watson would be the perfect fit? Do you think he'll be a perfect fit with any of the teams I mentioned? Or do you think it's another team? If you do, let me know of the team and why. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to do me a big favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.